Bill C-18, the Online News Act, is proposed by the Trudeau government. It's not passed yet. A lot of discussion. Jay Goldberg is with the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, joins me right now because I have a few things to say about it, but people want to hear what you have to say about it. Tell us what it is.
Well, Bill C-18 is this incredibly dangerous government bill. And what they're essentially trying to require is that online social media companies like Facebook, if they happen to have a link to a news article, if someone happens to post on their wall page with a link to a news article, they want entities like Facebook to have to pay these news organizations for the privilege of having these links. And what's going to happen, Facebook has already said, and they've done this in Australia, they will cut off news entirely on the platform. And what does that mean? Less diversity, more censorship, more government control.
So why is the government pushing this?
You know, you really have to wonder. They're claiming this is going to be better for the news outlets. And I suppose if these online entities want to pay millions and millions of dollars, that might benefit. But I think if you take a step back, you have to realize these online platforms are not going to be willing to pay every time someone happens to mention a news article from some news organization. And so what's going to end up happening, and Facebook did this in Australia, it's just you won't be able to talk about news anymore on Facebook. You won't be able to see it. They'll just not have the links because they don't want to hand over the cash. And they're saying that they already give billions of free clicks a year to these news entities. And so these news organizations are actually profiting from viewership and money as it stands right now. And the government's just trying to make that all that more skewed.
Aren't they really trying to, the news organizations, aren't they really trying to save their skins? I mean, should we not be reducing in accordance with the ability to pay as opposed to propping up? It seems that there's so many programs the government is coming up with now. Sometimes they're temporary, but you know, when government is temporary, it's full time, to give more money to news organizations. Like what? Is everybody in Canada going to be on the federal government payroll soon?
Well, that's what you have to ask. You have to ask if they're giving $600 million already to news organizations, traditional media, $1.2 billion to the CBC a year. You have to wonder, at what point are you going to start paying the salary of every person in Canada from the government's perspective, because the jobs are no longer there and competitive. So what we need to have is this Bill C-18's got to be scrapped, Bill C-11's got to be scrapped. The government has to get out of the business of being involved in the news, period.
Because one, Canadians won't get the real news when the government's paying for it. And I guess, and secondly, it's just going to, every subsidized industry, history has shown, just turns to mush. It's very inefficient.
And it's going to cause a trade war. The United States Trade Representative is already saying if this bill goes through, C-18, the U.S. is going to seek retaliation. So do we really want a trade war with the United States? I don't think so.
Jay Goldberg, thanks for raising the flag. 3 minutes. When someone comes up to me in the Buckhorn Hardware and says, "You're Stephen LeDrew," and I go, "Yeah." He says, "I watch you every day because I want to learn what's going wrong in this country. We're doing something right because other people are not reporting things. If you agree, please subscribe and PayPal and enjoy."